Hello everybody, and welcome to my workshop. My name is Gio the Tinkerer, and today I'm getting to do my first ever debut video, and it's going to be exciting. I have been sort of in this workshop for a while, tinkering away with Digimon decks, and I just been adoring the game and everything it has to offer. And thanks to the encouragement of friends and loved ones, they said, you know what, you have a knack, give it a shot. And I'm like, well, here I am. So what we're going to do today is I've been tinkering away with a new deck that will be coming out with the BT25 release of Digimon, and that is the Three Musketeers support. It is fantastic, it is solid, quite consistent actually, and for some odd reason, not many people have been really yapping about it or chatting about it. It's sort of gone a bit under the radar. It makes a bit sense. We've got the Grace Nova support coming through. There is the Shine Greymon that's looking absolutely terrifying. Not to mention TS is just going to come out with another Guns Blazing with Volcanus. Ceresmon looks quite cool, and there's a little bit of an interesting tech you can do with Ceres and Bacchus. But that's not the point here. Today, we're going to shine the light on a beloved, wonderful Three Musketeers member that is Beelstar, and the fact that she will provide a very scary, consistent kill shot. And I'm going to show that to you because I've managed to find two ways you can do this. Let's start off with looking at the actual, well, what are the new cards coming out in the set? And so in BT25, we have a whole line. You've got from the Pagu Egg to the Gazi Rookie, Black Gardo fitting into that champion slot, followed by the top end having Lady Devi for our ultimate that goes into Beelstar, and as well as a new Asuna Tamer. Now, with Three Musketeers, for those who aren't fully aware, there is a deck or deck archetype that loves to play around with the Three Musketeers trade option cards. So you've got cards like Chaos Triangular, we have Bind Red Trigger, Fly Bullet, and Blitz. Also Hurricane Screwshot. Fly Bullet is our newest one. And this is coming in with the fact that Beelstar herself is a dual card. It's a new mechanic that it will be introduced in BT25. And, well, technically the starter decks, I believe, for the Shine Greymon starter squad. But with Beelstar, at the bottom part, she is an option as well as a Digimon. But while she's on the field, she's only treated as a Digimon. Everywhere else in hand, in trash, in the deck, she's both Digimon and option, and that's where we get into some really, really funny combos. And I'm going to show you as part of the kill shot. But it's kind of good. A lot of it is quite supportive. The Pagu Egg allows us to climb up very easily. The fact that when you tuck things underneath, you are gaining the ability to Digivolve up for reduced cost by 2. This used to compete with the Kupurimon Egg that had, when you tuck a Three Musketeers trade option underneath, you'll be gaining a memory. But for a combo style deck, this egg actually has a lot more power to it. It is one more memory efficient than the Kupuri. However, the Kupuri later on in the game, if you're able to maintain your stack, does end up edging out when you already have that Evo line and for the memory manipulation. So both are not bad. The old egg is not bad at all, but for today's video and today's wonderful little tech combos, Pagu Egg will be it. The Gazi, decent searcher, reveals 3. You can either tuck one Three Musketeers trait card underneath, and that's again referring to our level 6s or our options. And if you do that, it does trigger the Pagu Egg. Or you get to add to hand. This is relevant because it does add your tamers, but unfortunately he's not the best searcher. He still loses to Toy Argu, who can essentially add 2 cards and is still nuts into this day, which is great. But the bread and butter, we'll come back to her actually, because I kind of want to say similar to why this Black Gardo just changes everything. We're looking at Lady Devi. Now, at the level 5 mark, we haven't really had that much of nice cards. We've got the Satalamon, which is still goated by all means. The fact that he can tuck things underneath the stack lets you then use it. You get protections from it. He's just so solid and has been carrying the deck for so long. But this time, he's going to be taking second place, second fiddle to the Lady Devi. She allows us to not only get to do the tucking and then drawing, which then triggers our Pagu, but most importantly, she's also one that can allow us to use a Three Musketeers trait option card And this is where we get into the combo, going into Beelstar, or if you want to use Hurricane Screwshot. So like the facility that she can do that and allow for a combo line is kind of nutty. Speaking of Beelstar, the lady of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, this is the card that will basically break everyone's mind and they're probably going to hate you for life. But hey, you know, it's fun. So what she does is, being the fact that she's an option with dual ruling, you can use the option, which will then delete opponent's highest level, then you place a Three Musketeers trait card underneath, and then after Digivolving allows us to then Digivolve on top of a valid target. If you have a level 5 on board, she can Digivolve for free. If you have Black Gardo, which when we get to it, it's kind of funny. But the rest of her effects, essentially, she's a blocker. She will allow us to use the Three Musketeers trait option from our hand or in sources. This is relevant because you can technically say, use your Hurricane Screwshot, and then when you've used the Hurricane Screwshot, its effect would say, put it back underneath. So you're not really losing value for using this effect. And this is also when attacking. So post that turn, you can then utilize this effect quite often. The second effect, and this is where we actually introduced another new nuance that Bandai are doing, is the counter timing in the card itself that's not based on Blast Digivolve. Now this is huge. We're essentially able to trash one option card in our sources, and then we get to unsuspend. And this is kind of cool because we have, again, really powerful effects when we're trashing our option cards. So let's just say you got opponents attacking with 2 Digimon. You're like, sweet, no worries. I'm just going to suspend the first one, pass on the counter timing. No problem. It is what it is. You've blocked. Next one's going to attack. You're like, I bet, let's do this ball game. Let's assume we've got Dirt Blitz underneath in our sources. You trash Dirt Blitz, you want to suspend. Dirt Blitz allows us to then Digivolve by 1. That's cool. If we go back to Hurricane Screwshot, we trash it. We're ripping a memory back. So there is an ability to inherently steal turn on your opponent's turn. That is kind of cool. And these are like very interesting niche things, but this is what this card now unlocks, and you can kind of see why this is going to start becoming a scary deck. She's accompanied by a new tamer, and we never really had a proper dedicated tamer. You can't really say Violet in Boots does it all, but Asuna in the BT24 set started it properly, and we guess we're going down the Asuna route again. And this one's cool. So she inherently replaces Violet in Boots in any way, shape, and form. And that's because you get basically drawing a card while gaining a memory. This Analog Man-esque card, which apparently love decks are having. And unbeknownst to Guz, that's his favorite card. Shout out to you, Guz. Love you, man. But yes, so we've got the Asuna. You yeet a card, and it's with any in text, and this is relevant when we go into a combo line where you get to draw and gain a memory. And finally, the main effect, you suspend her, you trash a card that's either an option card, mind you. It's either in your hand or underneath a Digimon, and you get to then Digivolve from either hand or trash, which costs reduced by 1. So let's actually think about this for a second. Just the new line itself. Let's say you got Pagu with Gazi on the field, right? And then you have an Asuna in their hand. That's just set up. You'll promote with Gazi, do the when moving. Let's say you're like, sick. I hit you know what, this like legit line. Let's say I hit Beelstar. You're like, all right, sick. We're gonna tuck Beelstar underneath because she is treated as an option when you reveal it, right? So being a Three Musketeers trait card, you put it underneath. Beelstar does have the Three Musketeers trait right underneath in the wizard right here, and you tuck it underneath. Pagu sees this. Pagu lets you go into Gato. Gato will spit out a tamer. And then we get into some really cool things. So now that this is the perfect way to segue into why Gato is more or less the centerpiece of the entire deck and the crux of everything. This card single-handedly can unlock multiple combo lines. That's just insane. And the recursion is also insane. So let's dissect that for a moment. On play when Digivolving, if you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one tamer card through Musketeers in its text from your hand without paying the cost. Pretty cool. Again, say we had the Asuna in our hand, get the player out. The next effect is where it's crazy. This is an all-turn static effect. While you have a tamer with 3 Musketeers in its text, this Digimon may Digivolve into a 3 Musketeers trait Digimon card for a cost of 4 ignoring requirements. This, ladies and gentlemen and everybody, is nuts. So, what we're talking about is Blackguardo can skip all the level 5s and go straight into your level 6s. If we're talking about then the Arts Digivolution, where you're digivolving without paying a cost, this is a free Evo. When we're talking about Arsenal, Arsenal will trash a card and then let you digivolve for a reduced cost of 1. So for a 3 cost, instead of 4, it reduces by 1. It's a 3 cost Evo into any of your level 6s. This is crazy. This is cool. And this is where you don't even need a level 5 for the combos. The recursion is from level 4. Make way, Hootie. We've got a better level 4 in this era, and it's Blackguardo. It's their time to shine. But that's the new pieces. And this is what the deck unlocks. And it's crazy. But because of this, we're going to actually focus today on one particular line or one particular combo. And then there's a secondary one I was able to discover too. But essentially, because of this cost reduction, free Evo combo play, you can OTK with this deck from pretty much nowhere. Basically, even turn 2 OTK, it's crazy. And we're gonna actually show that case to you today. So, there's 2 lines. We're going to start off with the more consistent one. This doesn't have to rely on being turn 2. This one is pretty much, if you have the pieces, you just pop off right then and there. It's not the hardest, and it's a bit more easier to build from consistency. And let's introduce the lineup. So, one thing to quickly note is we're actually not relying on the new rookie. We don't use the new level 5. None of this requires level 5s whatsoever. What we do have is we've got our Pagu Egg. We've got the Sparrowmon, which allows us to place an option card with Three Musketeers from our hand or trash in order to draw one. You could say Ghazi is essentially an extension of Sparrow, but that's sort of the idea. Sparrow is just a bit more easier for what I'm about to show you. We've got our Blackguardo, as always. We have our Beelstar, the dual card. This is necessary. And finally, in this version, we do use the Beelstar X and Bind Red Trigger. That is this line. The core is still Pagu, Sparrow, Blackguardo, Beelstar, Hurricane Screwshot as one of, and you just have one of each tamer. We'll go through the new cards in a moment, but this is requiring Beelstar X and Bind Red Trigger as your other options. Now, what are these additional cards you might speak of if you don't know? Let's quickly go about it. Hurricane Screwshot, when this is trash, gain 1 memory. That's pretty much what we're using it for. Every time we trash this, we want to gain memory. This is our memory manipulation tactic. You'll see it, how it gets used. The main effect, though, does allow us to delete a level 3, a level 4, and a level 5, and then you get to place it underneath. And the security is the same thing of just deleting, just no placing. This Arsenal Tamer, back in BT24, against I felt like truly unlocked the deck and started starting everything. But on play, you can trash 1 card with 3 Musketeers in its text to draw 2 cards. That's important. Sets up our bin. And start of our turn, if you have 4 less memory, by returning this to the bot deck, you can play 1 Asuna Shiroki or level 4 lower Digimon card. This is huge because this is how you can get to play out the Gardo, and that's going to be an actual combo play in our second line, which I'm keeping a little bit spicy towards the end, and I'll show you after this line. But that's one interest. That's how you get to go into playing out either Blackguardo or playing out Asuna, playing out Recursion. How you play out the Toy Argu or Ghazi just to get more search, and that's just standard play. Finally, we've got our Beelstar X. You love her, you know her. She's been the absolute top tier since EX7, since her release. Her effect is by trashing 2 cards with 3 Musketeers straight from your sources, delete one of your opponent's highest level, and trash your top security. That is relevant. And then when digivolving, you may use 1 option card 3 Musketeer trait from your hand without paying the cost. Also relevant. And the one that you'll primarily be using is Bind Red Trigger, which its effect allows us to trash your opponent's top security, then place it underneath. And when it would be trash, you delete level 7000 DP or lower Digimon. Now, in this shot, or this kill line, we're actually not attacking until we're going for the kill attack. Because essentially, through our when digivolving effects, we're looping a Bind Red Trigger once, twice, and then doing her when digivolving, and then when attacking to essentially trash 4 security. And that's how this line will kill the opponent from 4 you don't even swing. And this is relevant because what if we don't want to hit into like an option. We don't want to, you know, accidentally swing over, you know, a high DP that might kill us. In decks that just like don't really have a trash effect, aside from maybe Sakuyamon, you are reliably, safely killing and getting your way through their security. Now let's demonstrate how this works. And now I'm going to show you essentially the kill shot that you can get utilizing that Beelstar and the Bind Red trigger. Now, before we get to that specifically, I do need to quickly showcase what you're seeing on the screen so that way you're all following along very easily. This over here is going to represent our opponent's security, and as we do our checks, or as we trash them essentially. The core of both versions does require both Tamers, a Gardo, a Sparrow, Hurricane Screwshot, and Beelstar. And that's for the Beelstar X Bind Red Trigger kill shot, and this other very sick, spicy version that is actually a kill turn at turn 2. Yeah, that's right, turn 2 kill shot. And you can do it from 1 memory, as well as them having 5 security. Now, we're going to get to that in a moment, but for now, I just want to show you that there's a very standard kill shot from 4 with the current new stuff that's going to be a bit more consistent and reliable. Over here is going to be any additional draws we do get, because we're going to be getting a lot of additional draws throughout the combo and Digivolve, as well as we're going to start by drawing the cards here, and you're going to see how quickly we're going to be seeing cards and showcases the consistency of it. Now, this is just a demonstration. There is a little bit of a caveat. This kill shot is required of 2 things. Aside from all these pieces, you do need to be at 2 memory. Or I guess 3 things, because you're going to have the setup. But 2 memory, and your opponent has to be at 4 security. This is where this kill shot happens. So let's put that in. We're at 2 memory, and they're at 4 security. Your board state setup needs to be as follows. You will have a Sparrowmon Digivolved in the back. By doing so, you would have drawn a card from the Evo. And the other thing is, you would have played this Arsenal from BT24 to trash a card, the Three Musketeers in text, to draw 2. And the card you want to be trashing is the BT25 Arsenal that's come from the new stuff. By doing so, you would have trashed it to draw 2 cards. As you can tell, we're already in just the natural setup process of what your board state is with the Evo in the back, Arsenal on 4, and Arsenal in trash. You already have majority of the things. So let's go. Turns have passed, they've lost the security, yada yada. We probably would have had like normal draws throughout the turn process. That's just neither here nor there. So you'll start the turn, you're at 2 memory. Start of turn, you do the Arsenal effect. By bot decking her, you will be able to play out an Arsenal or a level 4 Three Musketeers from the bin without paying the cost. So we're gonna actually play out the Arsenal that we needed in that for the setup. That's it. Start of turn then continues. We will unsuspend. We will draw, drawing our final piece, and then breeding phase. We shall promote the Sparrowmon. 2 starter main phases are now pending. You've got the Sparrowmon as well as the Arsenal. We want to do the Arsenal first by sending the Hurricane Screwshot to our bin in order to draw 1 and gain 1. As you can tell, this is meant to be the excess draws. So, you've done that as your first starter main. Second starter main for Sparrow. You will tuck that Hurricane Screwshot underneath in order to draw 1. Pargu has now seen this occur, so Pargu will allow us to then Digivolve into Black Gato for free. We'll draw for Evo again. And Black Gato, if you have another Tamer, awesome, let's throw in another Tamer. This way you can put in the other Arsenal, even, I guess, yeeting the Beelstar to draw 2 cards. That's neither here nor there. So now we're at this point. We then proceed to do Arsenal's main effect. We'll suspend her, trashing the Hurricane Screwshot to allow a Black Gato to Digivolve into a 3 Musketeers trait, or 3 Musketeers in text card, reduced by 1. So, and that can be either hand or trash, hence why the Arsenal to eat the Beelstar, you can actually Digivolve from the bin from here, and the recursion. But, you'll Digivolve into this Beelstar. Normally, from the Black Gato, it's a 4 cost, but because we're reduced by 1, it's a 3 cost Evo. So for 3, we go into Beelstar, draw for Evo. You now have Beelstar's when Digivolving effects, as well as the Hurricane Screwshot being trashed, pending at the same time. Proceed to do the Hurricane Screwshot first. To gain that 1 memory, it is necessary. Second, for when Beelstar, you've got 2 When Digivolvings. You only really care about the first one in this instant, and that is to use an option from your hand without paying a cost. It can be from sources, but we're using it from our hand. So we use Bind Red Trigger. Bind Red Trigger allows us to trash opponent's top security card and then tuck itself underneath. Perfect. Now they're down to 3. From that 1 memory we gained from Hurricane Screwshot, you actually need that in order to digivolve Beelstar into Beelstar X. Beelstar FX's effects now pending for both when digivolving, because with the other one with when digivolving, it's a buy effect, so you can actually pass on that one. But going to Beelstar, her first one is you may use an option card of Three Musketeers from your from your hand without paying a cost. So we use the second Bind Red Trigger. Bind Red Trigger will trash your opponent's top security, and then proceed to tuck itself underneath. So now they're down to 2. Her second when digivolving effect allows us to trash 2 cards with Three Musketeers trait from its sources to delete highest level and then trash their top security. You can kind of see where we're going with this. So we're going to trash Bind Red Trigger 1, Bind Red Trigger 2 in order to delete their highest level and subsequently trashing their top security. They're down to 1. Now these will be all in the bin. And you're wondering, all right, Gio, that's sick, cool, but we're kind of running into a little problem now. You only have 1 more Three Musketeers trait option in your sources. How are you going to get through the last security? Well, may I introduce you to, again, the crux of everything. The goat of all goats, or the cat of all cats, really. Black Gato, her inheritable, is essentially, by placing 1 Three Musketeers trait card from your hand or trash. That's right, trash. This bottom Digivolution card, you get to draw 1. So, in this instant, Beelstar X's when attacking and when digivolving aren't once per turn. So you're actually going to declare the attack on Beelstar X. You'll do the Black Gardo first. You'll tuck Hurricane Screwshot. Oh, so again, this is meant to be a 0 because of the Evo. Tuck Hurricane Screwshot underneath. Just to draw another card. From there, you now have 2 in the sources. Beelstar X's when attacking is now actually usable. So we'll trash the... Oh, whoop. Come here. Yeah, that's it. We're going to trash the Beelstar because she's a Three Musketeers trait card. Because you can get, by trashing 2 cards, she counts. And then Three Musketeers trait card in Hurricane Screwshot. You'll trash their final security. And then you have game. That is with just very minimal setup. Them at 4 security, you can actually get this set up quite easily as you just naturally play in the game, utilizing the rest of the pieces. You've seen we've got an additional 5 draws on top of everything. In fact, if we had a second BT24 Asuna, so if we had another one of her, when we went into the Gardo, we're essentially drawing an additional 2 cards. You're seeing a lot of pieces. And this is not even to begin with when you play, say, your turn 1. You could even, by all accounts, do this at turn 2 if you had a red Toyagu that stayed alive. No joke. Your turn 1 play, or it would be a turn 3 really. So your turn 1, Sparrow, Toyagu, turn 2, keep Sparrow and raising, swing with Toyagu, get them down to 4 security, play out the Asuna. You're set up. And inherently you're set up at that point. And that's how you can do it with this kill turn. And it's quite exciting. It's quite powerful. It is very doable. And not even to mention, that's if you just have that set up. If you have like the standard Beelstar ready to go, she's a blocker, she's defensive, you can actually hold the fort quite well. But that's actually sick, and I'm excited for it. The next thing I've been really wanting to show you though, I think you guys are gonna really like this. So there is another kill turn that you can do with the Musketeers, and I'm a little bit proud of myself for this actually. It's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of a spice to it, as I'll show you in a moment. I'm essentially just setting up the cards. Now you've got your same core, so we're gonna flip these cards because we don't need them anymore. Actually, we can send them away. Now, I'm just going to do a quick test. I want to see if I can do this. Ah, sick. All right, perfect. We're going to keep this a surprise. So, we'll show these in a moment. But there is a kill shot that utilizes a really cool tech that pairs with the second Musketeer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, is Magnakid pairing with Alpha Oyukin Ace. Yeah, that's right. There is no Beelstar X here. There is no Bind Red Trigger here. This is an alternative kill shot at 5 security from 1 memory that is doable at turn 2. And we're going to demonstrate this. So let's introduce the new cards that are replacing. So instead of Bind Red Trigger, we have our Chaos Triangular. Chaos Triangular, this is simply for the fact of we're trashing it in order to get 3k DP. And this is important because sadly, we're not trashing their security, we're attacking into their security. And the reason we're attacking into their security is because with Magnakid's end of turn effect, by trashing an option card from his own sources, one of your other 3 Musketeers gets Sec +1, and that attacks. And he gets it for the turn, mind you. It's going to be Beelstar attacking, and this is when we actually get to utilize her second when digivolving or when attacking effect to unsuspend, get the 4 checks, and Alpha Oyukin will DNA for game, because what happens with him is when digivolving, minus 15k to one of your opponent's Digimon, then if DNA, you get to trash your opponent's security, recover 1, and then you just, when your end time security is removed, gain through memory, so you're guaranteeing a kill turn. But these are the cards we introduced. You still got the same core again: Pagu, Sparrow, Black Gardo, Hurricane Screwshot, Beelstar, the dual card, and both Tamers. Just introducing Magna, Chaos, and Oyukin Ace. Let's get on to it, shall we? Now, in this kill turn, we can facilitate it again from turn 2 really easily. So our turn 1 play, and we want to start off with turn 1. We'll start off with the hatch. As always, Digivolve into Sparrowmon in the back for free. This allows us to get a draw. And this time, we're going to play out the BT24 Asuna. But we're not sending this Asuna to the bin. No. We're sending Black Gato to the bin to draw 2 cards. Yes. So, just a reminder, we actually need a second Black Gato in this line. And that's why we send it. I forgot to mention that. But there's 2 Black Gatos. Compared to the previous one where you have like 2 Bind Red Triggers, here it requires 2 Black Gatos. And it's for this in purpose, to send Black Gato. So you do that for 3. Cool. Your opponent does something, and then they decide to choke you to 1. They put you to 1 memory, you're like, gosh darn it, I'm a 1 memory. What the hell? What do I do here? Well, you can win, essentially, is what you can do. Start a turn, Asuna's effect. Because we have 4 less memory, we can send her to the bottom of the deck to play out a level 4 with 3 Musketeers in its text. Black Gato is a level 4 with 3 Musketeers in its text. So we'll send Asuna away. We'll then play out this Black Gato for free. Black Gato won't play. We'll play out this Asuna. It's in our hand. And that's our start of turn. Next, we'll then draw for start of turn. Drawing out Alpha Oyukin Ace. And then we will, I think we needed it would have to be the other way around. Flip card. Yes, it's this way. So then you'll promote. Ooh, come here, Sparrowmon. Join the party. Buddy, I love you. Yeah, we go. Thing. So, we can then, actually doesn't really matter because you can do it from hand or trash. So let's just actually revert that back to what it was, because I actually kind of like the fact that it was like hidden. It gave me a little bit of RNG. So we're at this point. We will then, because you get to place 1 from your hand of trash. So Asuna, start a main with Sparrowmon. We've got 2 effects. We'll send the Hurricane Screwshot from underneath to gain 1 and then draw 1. We've got Chaos Triangular. Sparrowmon's effect will tuck the Chaos Triangular underneath Sparrow in order to draw a card. Pagu has now seen its effect. Pagu allows to digivolve into Black Gato for free. Sick. Draw a card for Evo. Now, we're ready. We're ready to go. This is how we're going to do it. 2 memory. We'll do the Asuna effect. We'll trash that Chaos Triangular. So this is now in the bin, these 2 cards. To allow this Black Gato, the one that we spawned from Asuna, in order to digivolve, reduce cost by 1. So for 3 cost, because again, Blackguard allows us to go into any of our level 6 Three Musketeers trade Digimon for 4. Reduced by 1, it's for 3. So for 3 cost, we go into Magnakidmon. When Digivolving a Magnakid and the Trash Effect Chaos Triangle are both pending, so we'll do the Triangular first, giving Blackguardo plus 3k. 1, 2, 3. Save values. This is important again. Magnakids, when Digivolving effect, will now activate. You may use a Three Musketeers trait option card from your hand without paying the cost. Then draw. I also forgot to draw for the Evo. Draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. So you will use Beelstar. I don't remember if I drew for the Blackguardo. We'll just say we did. Beelstar's effect, the option, because she's an option. She will delete opponent's highest level Digimon. Then you may place 1 Three Musketeers trait card from your hand as any of your sources. Hand or trash as any of your sources. So you're going to be placing the Hurricane Screw Shot that you yeeted before underneath Magnakid. And you finish off her effect by doing the Arts Digivolve. Arts Digivolve allows us to, instead of sending her to the bin, where she'll be trashed because you used the option, you can Digivolve into this card without paying the cost. And Blackguardo again allows us to go into Three Musketeers trait level 6s for 4. So without paying the cost, you go Beelstar on top of the Digimon for free. Draw Fever. Then you have when Digivolving effect. You may use a Three Musketeers trait option. You don't worry about that at all. It's not necessary. That's right. You don't actually, this time, you don't use the first effect because we only care about the second one. But we're not using the second one just yet. We'll do that in a moment. So you pass on those effects. End of turn, because memory gauge is at 1, Magnakidmon begins. He will allow us to trash option card from the sources. Then one of our Three Musketeers trait Digimon gains Sec +1 for the turn and attacks. So we're going to trash this to give Sec +1 to Beelstar. I guess because the dual card, Brazil won't let me give it Sec +1. Just trust it, there's Sec +1. And it attacks. Now, when attacking and trash effects are all pending, trash effect the Hurricane Screwshot, gain a memory. This is necessary. You will then, funny enough, do the Blackguardo first. Now, you have a choice between which one you want, depending on your opponent. If your opponent happens to have Digimon that are more than 15k, or have 15k Digimon, then go for the Chaos Triangular in this instance, so you can be bigger than them. If they happen to not, and they're actually a low DP deck, then usually Hurricane Screwshot is better because essentially you do care about that memory for in case you hit like X Antibody or Digimon I Designed or Hammer Spark, for instance. But let's just say, for the sake of consistency, reversing Millenniumon, they don't have that kind of shenanigans. They have just high DP. You will do the Blackguardo effect to tuck Chaos Triangular underneath in order to draw one. Then you will do the Beelstars of when attacking. By trashing option, you unsuspend. So you'll trash Chaos Triangular, unsuspend. Chaos Triangular, when it is trashed, gives you an additional plus 3k. Let's see if I can put these in here. 1, 2, 3, plus 1. Just do this, plus 3, another one. So, oops, save value. Yeah, oh, it doesn't get the DP, but doesn't matter, that's fine. So we're at 18k DP, and we're swinging for 2 checks. So you go check 1, check 2. Swing again, 2 checks, check 1, check 2. Finally, we have a black and Beelstar, because she's black, and a Magnakid red. This is our targets for the DNA. So we'll DNA in the Alpha Oyukin Ace. We'll draw for Evo. Flip card. I knew I was missing one. And from there, here's when Digivolving. We'll minus 15k something. And then since we DNA'd, we trash their 5th security. We'll gain the 3 memory. And you just swing for game. Yep. That is 3 Musketeers. Now this is exciting. Again, I was so cool getting to tinker around and cook with this. And I think it's going to be an absolute threat. Obviously, this is just the kill shots. The 2 lines you can do to kill and win game and have your win condition occur. Had to know. But bear in mind, essentially now with 3 Musketeers, they have from basically nothing can win the turn. You saw the setup. The setup was simply, you have the BT24, it's crashed again. You have the BT24 Arsenal, you have the Black Ardo, and then you have everything ready to go. But that's all for what we have to chat about today. I'm glad Brazil lasted that one, so that way we were able to showcase both kill lines and what the Three Musketeers can do. There will be more things I can tinker with to then show proper combos, proper lines, some fascinating things the deck itself can do, aside from just a kill turn. But I really, really wanted people to see, hey, Musketeers is back, you know? Like, it can kill, it can pop off. There's like juice to this, there's gas happening. And that's what I really, really wanted to showcase today. It was brief, but it was fun. And, you know, for the first ever video, why not talk about something I love and adore? And this is great. But please, if you're interested in more and more of my little tinkering, there are lots to come. I have many great ideas. I'm even thinking of doing like a jank deck of the month kind of concept. But time will tell. We're definitely gonna start humble beginnings and climb our way up. But this is Gio the Tinkerer signing off. I wish you all the best and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye!